Hi and welcome to Leicester Fan TV. This is the Fox's Tales. So I have with me JP, a Leicester fan of quite a few years. So my first question to find out, JP, how many years have you been a Foxes fan?
I've been a Foxes fan since 1992, mate.
92.
That was the first game that I attended. I was a fan on TV. I remember watching them on TV when I was too young to get to the ground, according to my dad. But the first game I attended was under Brian Little in 1992.
That's quite a way ago, quite a long way away then. One of my first experiences I recall as an 8-year-old was a midweek game, FA Cup, Leicester versus Norwich, with Keith Weller with the famous white tights. They won the game, I believe it was 3-1. But that first instance when you walk out on a night game, especially for me, when you walk out there and you see the green grass all lit up with the floodlights, absolutely amazing experience. And I'll never ever forget just walking up those stairs as it come over the top of the stairs, and you see how green, how lit up, and how beautiful, and the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. Which is totally different probably now. Would you say?
I'd say it's very similar. It's that awe of how big the stadium is when you go through that little tunnel and you realise, especially if you get in as the atmosphere's going as well. I've taken a few people and who have never actually been to a football match, and then they can't believe how big and how the noise stays inside the stadium.
Mm. Yeah. I think it would be probably fair to say that the atmosphere has a difference to how it was used to be at Filbert Street, because obviously it's all seated now anyway. But I would probably say, in my opinion, I think it's probably slightly different. But your experiences may well be different depending where you're sitting. Yeah.
The days of being in the pens and getting surged and stuff like that, they're long gone now. So,
okay, move on to the next question. What's your favourite player back then and your favourite player today?
Ooh. Now, I was thinking about this, and there's a lot of players that I've looked at and I thought, wow. But for me, there was one player that I just loved above everyone else, and that was Steve Guppy.
Guppy, the left-hand side, one cap for England, yeah?
I remember when he played for Port Vale, if I remember correctly, and I kept saying for at least a year, we need to sign this bloke. This bloke is absolute quality. And we signed him, and he couldn't do a trick for love nor money, but he could knock the ball 5 yards and whip in. I remember at the time everyone was saying he's as good as Beckham for crossing.
Wow, that's quite
and that goal
order,
against Chelsea was amazing.
Yeah. Maybe with your eye for a good
hopefully
player.
we get a few this season.
Well, yeah. Maybe with your eye for a good player, then we should have you on the recruitment staff down at City when we need some players.
Well, you never know. I'm going to say I've never heard of some of these ones that they're talking about. So it just looks like we're signing Kaglar Soyuncu 2.0.
Yes, I have seen that in the news today. That was pointed out to me. And your current status of your current player, the current favourite player at the moment.
Current favourite player.
Forget for Fafana, he's gone.
Oh no, he's definitely not in that one. I'm going to say at the minute, I'd say it's got to be Maddison.
Yeah,
he's just different gravy. I love the players that play with no fear and a little bit of cheeky swagger.
On his day, yeah, like most players on the day, if they're oozing with confidence and they're in the zone, then they're going to give you that good performance, aren't they? As we've seen, people like the likes of Ross Barkley, Dele Alli, who have lost their way a little bit, reaching their prime, 26, 27 years old, should be, buzzing at the top of their game right now, but have somehow lost their way, and they're being terminating contracts and being farmed out to Turkish clubs. So, if Maddison's at his best, he is a fantastic asset to the club.
Oh yeah, well, if we had lost Maddison as well in this transfer window, I think that would have been it for us. We'd have been looking at relegation.
Yeah, we need players like him, don't we, to week in, week out to perform. Next question: aside from lifting the Premiership trophy back in 2015, 2016, which we all loved and remember very well, which is your sort of most memorable LCFC moment?
It would probably be, even though we lost the game, I remember I went to the playoff finals, and I remember when we came back and we got it to 3-3 against Swindon. I just remember hugging a complete and utter stranger at the side, man.
Nothing new there.
Yeah, exactly. But just it was so much joy that we'd equalised, and then literally I can't remember exactly how much long later, and then it was heartbreak that they went up and scored.
Yeah. That's unfortunately that's football for you, isn't it? It happens, and it's a heart in your mouth type sort of scenario, and then it unfortunately doesn't go your way all the time, every time, a lot of the time, depending on how bad you play.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah. Next one. Currently, obviously, we're just starting to leave it till last minute for bringing players in. If you were to want a player that you'd like to see in the club that would be realistic, that would you think would potentially come and make such a difference, who would that be? If they can't move quick enough in this window, if we look at sort of January time, if we were to look at bringing somebody in, who would you like to see in the fold at the moment?
That's a tricky one, because most of the players that at the start that I wanted have all gone to lesser clubs. I saw today
Nick
that
Pope, maybe Nick Pope.
Yeah, Nick Pope, I think, would have been an excellent replacement for Schmeichel. I would have liked this James Gardner from Forest. He looks like he's signing the contract with Everton this afternoon. We just seem, for whatever reasons going on at the club at the minute, we seem to have missed a trick in this transfer window.
Yeah, we've not been particularly active, have we?
No, I think we've left it to lastminute.com, and we've missed out on some very Pope for 10 million. It's an amazing price. I even like the bloke from Burnley, O'Neill, the winger. I know there's talk today of us signing the bloke from Atlanta, and he's another left winger. So we could have had, I think O'Neill went for about 20 million. Proven Premiership winger with experience. And we'll probably end up with someone who's not played in the Premiership before, and we'll have the same problem we've had with Daka and Soumer.
Yeah. Personally, if I were on the recruitment side for a keeper at the moment, I would potentially look at somebody like Jack Butland, who's slipped down the pecking order at the moment and sort of been cast away. He was doing really well, good prospect, and I think he'd be a good acquisition if we could lure him away. But again, I don't make those decisions. We don't make those decisions.
Well, I think Everson's going to be a very good goalkeeper.
Yes, but
I think for the time being, I think we should have gone for Ben Foster as a third choice keeper. Just come in, bit of experience.
Isn't he a free agent at the minute?
He's a free agent, and I'm sure a club of Leicester's pool would have got him.
Yeah, well, we ended up getting that other keeper, didn't we? That third choice keeper that we got for free.
Oh yeah, but let's be honest. How many games is he actually going to play for us?
I don't think.
Has he been brought in to teach the other two, or is that now fallen on Danny Ward to coach Everson?
We shall see. Next question. How we've got on. Have you ever actually played on the King Power turf?
No, I haven't. I've got friends that have played on there, but the closest I've got to playing on any kind of half decent turf would be Holmes Park.
I've done both, mate.
Not like
played
you.
On both.
I know you
refereed on both. It's you think how carpet is, and it is the best grade of carpet you could ever imagine, and you're playing on it, and the footwear and how it feels is like wearing slippers playing on carpet. It is really, really beautiful surface. You could sleep on it. It's that good. But yeah, it's nice. It's good experience. Good fun. outside of Leicester City Football Club, which player do you admire the most and why?
Dennis Bergkamp.
Good choice.
I just thought he was an absolutely phenomenal player. I remember the game 3-3 down at Filbert Street on a Wednesday night, I believe, and he was just different class.
He was definitely a different mustard, wasn't he?
That's it.
Yeah.
Who would you have picked on that one?
I would probably my favourite player outside of the club is Bergkamp. He's an absolute quality player. Some of the goals he scored, some of the when he was playing the Arsenal team, the link up play. I'm sure, yeah, he contributed massively to Ian Wright's goal tally. I think, and they were a great side back in the day at that point. I think Bergkamp for me, absolutely fantastic. There's so many you could pick. I mean, Beckham was a model professional, but he'd be an easy choice to sort of pop in there because of his status. But I think as a player that excited you, and you just you didn't expect to do some of the things he did. You know, he made Leicester look stupid on that. Unfortunately, when he did that 3-way tip over and slot it by, and then he did the same to Newcastle when he turned Dabby's off. Yeah, and absolutely brilliant. It was just very unpredictable with what he did. Whereas Beckham, you expect he's going to do that free kick, he's going to put a ball in, but a little bit different with Bergkamp, I think, and that for me anyway. Next question. If you could select a player to bring him in his prime, to bring him into the squad today, what player would that be? From back in the day?
I believe if I could select one player now, I'd go for Roy Keane.
Yeah,
I think the midfield we're just lacking that grit and determination in the middle of the park. We need someone that's going to take the team by the scruff of the neck,
box to box,
just drag it,
get stuck in.
Box to box midfield, quality on the ball, good range of passing, and never not prepared to lose a game.
Yeah. Good shout. Very competitive player, and also very opinionated from a pundit status.
Oh yes. He does make for funny clips on YouTube.
He does. He has some very funny clips actually out there. Next question. What is your favourite halftime tipple where pies are concerned? Nothing to do with your
I like the sausage roll.
You like to do what?
I like the sausage roll from down at the King Power Stadium. But the only drawback is, the sausage roll is very nice, but it is very expensive. So
right, yeah. So
I don't tend to eat a lot inside the stadium.
More of a pastry than a pie type kind of guy. Yeah.
Okay. And maybe a pint.
And maybe a pint, yes, to wash it down because it's probably a bit dry after it's been stood there for 45 minutes. Okay, and finally, nice simple question. I would have said Blues Bar, but obviously the Blues Bar isn't there at this moment in time. So I'm going to say, are you a local hero or a sore point kind of guy before the game or after the game?
I would say I'm a local hero.
And purely because?
Purely because I don't really go in either, but I had to pick one and I know the local hero.
I think it's because it was local, but it's only across the road from the ground.
That's it. Because it's close to Morrison's and you can get a cheap bit of food from there.
Splendid. Okay, well, anyway, that's the sort of general thing what we're trying to create here with Fox's Tales. We've got a bit of an insight for JP's experiences as a fan, his opinions as who the players he'd like to see and who the players he's liked to have seen over the years. If you, the fans out there, fancy doing this, just drop us a line on Leicester Fan TV and we'll get you all sorted and we'll get you some same sort of questions just to get a bit of an insight what the fans like about the club and the players and what's happening around it. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked what you saw and we hope to see you again. Cheers. Thanks, JP.
Cheers. No worries.